My name is Mike Tresky, your host, and we are here to discuss CAR-PGA business as a review process, where we are talking to fabulous guests and talking about CAR-PGA. I heard that for a second. I'm hoping if I get it really close, because I can hear it now. I can hear it cutting in and out. Like it sounds like I'm in now. So we'll hopefully see how this audio goes. Um, we have a couple of things that I just wanted to mention since we have the opportunity in the platform. As I think you know, we actually go away for August and we're back for September. And we will be resuming this monthly. So I know we've been away, a little bit of a muscle. I have to remember how to get back to doing this as well. But we appreciate your support. I hope you were having adventures. I was, I actually traveled, as some of you may know, I went to Europe. I had an opportunity to go on a cruise, which was super exciting. And we were able to visit a bunch of countries, and I've been writing a series of articles about that. So I was pretty excited about that. I'm also very excited about talking about a couple things. One of them being one of our members, very humble sir, Tim Hutchings, has a new or sequel, I shouldn't say new game out, which is Thousand Year Old Vampire. So if you're familiar with Thousand Year Old Vampire, you would know that is I call it a journaling game. I think Tim does not like me to call it that. It's a game that very much is self-directed, where you write stories based on prompts about being a vampire. The sequel is out and was successful on BackerKit, which was so you've met a thousand-year-old vampire, which is pretty cool. The goal was $45,000. It reached $284,000 with 1,108 backers, which is pretty good. So very excited for him. Congratulations, Tim. If you haven't picked it up, and I'm sure it'll be out in the wild at some point, by all means, I back the hardcover and the PDF. I actually got the PDF for the first one, and I regretted it. It's the kind of thing that's worth getting because it's the actual art. I don't know if you know Tim as our member. Tim is actually has background in art. He has actually displayed at galleries, and he does that in his past, which is amazing. So he put a lot of that creativity into this book, so it's worth getting. The other thing is Meg Baker has a bundle out. It's for Meg. She has cancer, so Baker is someone I've known for a while, good friend, and there is a link out where you can purchase that bundle to support her, which is always upsetting. So I will be sure to update the site. We actually have a section to help gamers for that purpose. So we make sure we have folks if they are gamers in need. It's actually called Gamers in Need on the CAR-PGA. So when we have members or even non-members that we know need assistance or help, we're happy to make sure we support them. So I was excited to add that to it. I'm sad about obviously the circumstances, but to the extent that we can share with our membership and you can support her, I think that would be lovely. And we'll give a link in the newsletter as well as on the site as well. Okay. Now, we're going to switch to our guest because I'm going to remember how to do this. There we go. And hello, Garry. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Well, I'm okay. I don't know if my headset's okay. It's funny.
No, yeah,
I have this ability to hear myself, so now I can tell when it's not working, and it's almost
good.
worse. I was better when I didn't know that it wouldn't work, but that's fine. So, thank you, Garry, for joining. We were just trying to remember how we started this conversation. This is months ago where we met with Virginia, and she actually had been a member and mentioned what a wonderful opportunity and how much overlap the CAR-PGA could potentially have with Role Play Haven. So we wanted to talk to you, and you were gracious enough to both accept and then remember to show up after months. So thank you, and I'm glad you're here. So, um, and we're also getting better at timing. I'm never going to forgive myself. I'm probably mention it for the rest of the year about how I didn't check when people's time zones are because I do know better. So that's why we're doing this call in the afternoon, which is hopefully a little bit more reasonable for our friends in the UK. So, Garry, generally speaking, the way we start this, just to ease folks into both the conversation and sort of broaden it, we love to hear your background and introduction into the hobby and sort of how you progressed from that to eventually role play Haven. But let's just start with and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came into gaming.
Wow. So Mine's a little bit of an adventure. I'm 45, and I've been gaming since I was about 9 years old. And I started off with, like most people, on Dungeons and Dragons, but that didn't completely captivate me. It was one session. It was actually another game called Mutazoids, which is it's quite a bizarre game, but that really caught my attention. I'm actually very heavily dyslexic. I had to go to special school, so when I was reading this, it was really kind of encouraging me to develop more, and I was really getting into the whole wow. I could do this, I could do that, and I can get this ability. So it was really helping on my learning abilities. So that's kind of how it kind of started at the beginning, my obsession, because it really did become an obsession, to be honest. And I didn't quite realize back then, looking forward now, how much it was going to overtake my entire life, because it really has now. So jumping forwards, I'm a tabletop consultant. So I work for various different TTRPG companies. I'm the former operations manager for Modiphius Entertainment. I've worked for Son of Oak, Mindjammer Press. I've been a consultant for Free League, and quite a lot of publishers out there. And part of my journey getting here, now we're going a little bit back a bit, and bear with me, you'll get why I'm going a bit back and forward, was um, there was a lot of lack of role-playing clubs in England. And I used to do them in my local church halls, and people just, we suddenly got pushed out, if you will. And I was like, well, we need to do role playing somewhere. This is a big passion of mine. I really enjoy it. And then we started in someone's kitchen, a friend's kitchen, which after about 10 years, we severely outgrew. Like 9, 10 of us cramped beyond on around a table. Um, then it was I think we moved to a friend's house, which his front room started growing, and he was like, "Whoa, this can't be happening." So I came up with this crazy idea of, "Hey, why don't we form a role playing club?" And everyone was like, "No, Gary, that's crazy. Role playing clubs don't work anymore. No one does role playing clubs anymore." And kind of thing with me is when people say it can't be done, I like to because I like to prove them wrong and just do it. It's just a very innate thing of me. I love proving people wrong, and I've done that quite a lot in my life. So yeah, we formed in like in this like members club in these hospital grounds in Lewisham, South London, which is where I'm from. And it kind of exploded pretty quick. I mean, one of our things that we do at the Role Play Haven is we try to be organized. And as I always say, if everyone's organized, almost half of the role play haven won't function. It's because we're so organized, and we slot games in, and we try and streamline the service much as possible. We treat it quite professionally. It became very, very popular, and we started with one table, two tables, three tables, and before you know it, we were on 8 or 9 tables. And I was like, maybe we should branch out a little bit. And we got all this extra money, and we could do something with this money and maybe give it to charity or something. And so we kind of like branched out from that point onwards, giving money back to community. And we formed a CIC company. And then we kind of exploded from that point onwards. So that's a very summary. And then I then uh, got approached by Chris Birch from Modiphius Entertainment, because my day job back then was logistics, and he said, "Would you like to work for me? I need a logistics department." And then I was working in effectively this tiny little room with squirrels running across my, and I kid you not, squirrels running across my keyboard. The man is a squirrel whisperer, and I promise you this he does. So and then we're working there. And I guess I've just been in the industry ever since, to be honest. So quite well connected on this side of the pond. A little bit naive to the American side, I'm afraid. But obviously we do follow what goes on over that side. But I've been very much isolated on the Europe side. So that's kind of my background and how I started into RPG and how I got into Role Play Haven as well. So it's my hobby, it's my day job, it's everything for me and unexpected.
That's amazing. And yeah, I mean, anyone who looks at your site, almost immediately the thing that is shocking to me, and again, someone who's had experience with clubs,
Hmm.
was how organized. I mean, your logistics background, that's no joke. This is clearly very presently a highly organized group. And to your point, I think other companies who want to support or engage with that is very appealing, right? And it also goes for charitable outreach, right? Charitable outreach, which is anyone who's worked in any nonprofits knows this. There are a lot of people with big hearts, but they do not necessarily have organizational skills. And a lot of times you have big hearts with all the same goal, but not working together, right? So if you can harness that, you can be tremendously effective. And everything I've seen and heard about the Role Play Haven is it is a tremendously effective organization. Certainly, you report out. We see that in some of your wins in terms of the charity work. So really amazing stuff. Can you speak to any of that in terms of any successes or things you're particularly proud of and what Role Play Haven's done in terms of outreach? Because I think it's worth pointing it out.
So yeah, there is honestly a long list of achievements the Roleplay Haven's done. And it's not, I might be the founder, I might be a former leader of that organization, but there are the directors in the organization where obviously we're a non-profit. There's other directors who have been with us, come and gone, and they've shaped the organization, including Virginia as well.
Yes.
So it's the volunteers, it's the army of volunteers that have made the organization, and I can't praise them enough for the achievements that we've achieved. So we've raised about, and this is just rolling dice, about
Right.
50,000 English pounds. Just
Wow.
nice. That's it. And some of our branches raise about £1,000 a year. My currency conversions are pretty bad, so I think that's about $1,300
Sure.
approximation, give and take. So that's like every year one branch does that, and that goes to mental health, a charity called Minds. Um, we've brought people and mentored people in the program as well, like when they're playing role playing games, encourage them up. There's been people that in the organization that haven't had like they had such talent that they could have do so much with their life. And you just look at it and go, why are you doing this? You could conquer the world.
Yeah.
And the few examples of that is obviously Virginia, which is obviously some of your members know about already. So Virginia, you know, I basically just plonked her. I just said to her, look, do you want to work in the industry? And she said, oh, I'd love to. She said, I don't know how. I said, well, come
Yeah.
here. I literally navigated and
We'll
pushed her
figure it out.
right in front of Chris Birch at Modiphius and said, Chris, this person's awesome. And I said to her, this is the company to work for at the moment. This is the upcoming company to work for. And they will look after you. They're an amazing company. I worked there at the time. And I already got a number of other people work there, including Lloyd, Samantha Webb. So Samantha Webb is another great story. We got her to work there as well. She's now like the head of RPG development for Modiphius Entertainment. So that's phenomenal,
Yeah.
to go from that. I mean, I don't want to put her down. There's nothing wrong with working in a bar, but I feel the skill was wasted. She was working in a bar, and now she's like, she's working on Star Trek Adventures RPG. It
Right.
doesn't get much better than that. Um, so even people just helping them writing references as well. Honestly, the list is endless of what we've achieved, what the volunteers have achieved, the charity fundraisings that we've done. Even when we go to a convention like Dragon Meet, we raise thousands of pounds. But one of our policies is we try to prevent not doing aggressive charity raising. We're very much passive. We don't hold buckets and go, give me your money. We're very
Right.
much play, have fun, and give back to the community. So you're playing a role playing game and you're having fun, and you've got that good feeling I'm giving to the community. because it's not just charities, it's the community as well. It could be helping venues, struggling venues in the community. It could be working with small indie RPG press companies as well, like trying to help with them get their games through. We might go and do a promotions and say, look, we'll take a load of your copies, we're going to give them out. You've got a Kickstarter. We've done that with Kicks. We're a bit cagey because we get a lot of Kickstarters, but we had one with an RPG called Nibiru, a guy called Federico, and we helped him and supported him because he was giving a lot back to the community. He was giving to the Role Play Haven, so we supported them by saying, "Look, we'll help you on a Kickstarter." Kickstarter raised, I think it was about 40,000 English pounds. So
Wow.
again, it's just we're just trying to push, and we didn't do all of that. Obviously, they did a lot of hard work in that themselves, and did a lot, but we supported that, and that's the sort of things that we've achieved in the as well as making about 9 to 10 role-playing clubs across the United Kingdom through a charity franchise that we launched as well.
This is amazing. And again, just looking at the website alone tells a story. I don't know if you know Hawk Robinson. He's one of our board members, and he does RPG therapeutics research. And again, very complementary organizations doing a lot of outreach. We have several therapists who are members, teachers, librarians in the U.S. Where we're really doing a lot of the struggles that you've, as far as I'm concerned, solved right now. And there's no like perfect formula, and there you sort of never stop, right? To your point, but it is an ongoing struggle, at least in the U.S. Partially because of scope, partially because the communities are so varied and different.
Mm,
We have teachers who want to use more role playing as part of both therapeutics and teaching. But we never get past it, right? We always say everybody is absolutely enamored with the idea, and then it's harder to really pitch it because there's lots of other things going on, obviously, that make it challenging. But Play Haven seems to have been immensely effective, which that alone. So credit not just to you, to your point, to all your members, to Virginia and everybody else who works and plays
mm,
there, and also so wonderfully part of the community too, right? So that's the other thing that's great. Gamers have always, in my experience, been generous,
mm,
and they absolutely do. Don't hesitate to open their pockets and help the locations where they play, which
mm,
I think is tremendous. And to your point, and we've talked about this both with the incarcerated where gaming can make a huge difference, right? Because
yeah,
it opportunities for people who, frankly, physically can't get out. COVID certainly taught us this lesson.
mm.
And then gaming becomes an opportunity to sort of exercise because you can't physically go places, but boy, can you use your mind to go places, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So, really exciting to see the Role Play Havens work. And look, the obvious next question is, well, okay. You got the UK. I think we've got parts of it covered. So now it sounds like maybe there's an opportunity to continue to expand, which we'll get back to. But before we get into that, um, there's a couple different other parts, right? You're obviously working on a lot of different pieces and a lot of different moving parts. One of the things, and again, there's so many. I don't know if we can hit all of them, but I wanted to just touch on the Young Dragons project. If you could tell us sort of what that is and how that works, because I think it'd be interesting to our members.
So that's going to tie in what you just spoke about therapists and role playing. So about 5 years, we've always noticed the difference of the social impact and the social good that it does doing tabletop role playing games. We've noticed it, and the whole world's now starting to take note of it. So we started about 5 years ago a project called Young Dragons. So very much like most charity organizations, they give things like project names. So the clubs that we do are called Roll Together. And then, therapeutic role playing games is called Young Dragons for us. So we've been doing this for 5 years. We've been very studying it, looking into it. One of the other directors is our community director, David. He is an occupation therapist by day, and obviously by night when he's Batman, he's with the Role Play Haven. So we've done a lot on this, and we got approached by our local government authorities in London who said, "We know what you do. We know you're looking at young dragons. Would you like to now start going into schools and start practicing this? And we're going to help and support you get this going."
Wow.
So we're like, "Whoa, okay, hang on." Didn't expect
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Doing the research, and I think we're getting a bit nervous about taking that step, and they just
Yeah.
gave us a push. And so behold, we formed another company called Mythic Minds, where we moved Young Dragons from the Role Play Haven across to Mythic Minds. You could almost look at them like a sister company, though it's not legally set up that way yet. We are literally in the process. So we set it up about a couple of months ago, Mythic Minds. We moved Young Dragons across because we're actually going to be paying our storytellers. So we call them storytellers because once we're describing this to the public, and you say dungeon masters and GMs are like,
I don't
what?
like that.
So we kind of trying to soften the approach down and go, look, these are storytellers, and we're using therapeutic role-playing games to help people who are neurodiverse. You are helping people that are not attending school too much, because obviously that's a big problem in schools at the moment, particularly in the UK, is attendance at the moment. So, and the government's looking at how can we get people more attending? Well, why not use a role-playing game? We know there's a lots of educational benefits to this as well. You got a natural organic form of maths in there when I'm rolling my D20. I'm adding various different stats. And as I described earlier to you guys, I'm heavily dyslexic. It helped me. I couldn't spell my own name at the age of 9. I'm now a registered writer, publisher, producer in role-playing games. I've done Terminator 1 and 2. I've been on Conan the Age by Modiphius, so I've done a lot. And that's because of role-playing games. So we know the benefits. I definitely know those benefits, and we're working with very professional people to deliver this to people at schools, charities, local libraries. We have a list of programs that are available. We rely on funding circles and donations from the public to allow us to carry on and operating what we're doing. Um, and we're on a roller coaster. We are really on a
I would
roller
say
coaster,
so.
and we're still climbing up. We're not gone down yet on this ride. We're still climbing up because the community has been amazingly supportive to us. Maybe because they've been a bit biased for the Role Play Haven, what we've done there, they already know. But
Right.
yeah, so they've been really good and they've been supporting and they're helping us, moving us going. And we want to obviously try to give back to that community, which is why we're paying our storytellers. Plus, we are doing with safeguarding with children. There's a huge responsibility. This is not something we can do like we do in the role play haven. We'll have volunteers. This is very serious,
Yeah.
and we treat it that way. So paying people creates that element of that and gives us a little bit of control on that. And gratefully, there are hundreds of GMs that I know and people I've discovered from with Modiphius and various people that I know. Look, these guys need help. We can get them a job. They're phenomenal storytellers. Let's get them in and helping, and we will train them, and we can help them as well as helping that community. So what we need now, and I'm gonna give a bit of a plug, is I want GMs. So I want GMs from people. I want if you're a GM, you want to do this, go to mythicminds.org. We haven't got it on right now, but in the next couple of days, I'm about to have a notice appear where people can apply. They join our Discord. We go through a whole vetting process. Um, there'd be options for people to do it in person, GMing in person, sorry, storytelling in person,
Telling
or,
them.
or online, doing it remotely. So that is an option as well, because some people, they find it hard to leave home. They have various different traumas. So we don't want to just push them to come. Look, you must come to our venue. So just doing it online is a bit more accessible. So that's Young Dragons, and it wasn't a short answer, I'm afraid. It was quite a long one, but nothing's ever short with me.
Obviously, this is going well. I think one of the questions I have, and Andrew may have been touching on it, is what is your methodology for engaging those classrooms? How is that working?
So can you be a bit more specific?
So in other words, all right. So like, okay, I want to engage the classroom, right? So do I just get to play D&D however I want? We've had guests on who have created toolkits, essentially, full on methodologies. Partially
Yeah.
because schools get very serious, right? They're like, you can't just play D&D, and in some cases, they have very specific goals that need to
Mm,
be achieved to make it educational worthy.
I
So I was
understand.
just curious, sort of what your if there is. I mean, maybe it's different, but I was curious what sort of if you had any challenges and sort of what the rigor is behind that for the
So,
schooling.
yeah, no, that's a good question. And the reason I was asked to be very specific on that one is it's, so we have a range of programs. So we have about 8 or 9 different types of programs, depending where we're trying to work with. So obviously neurodiverse or after schools are just some of them. So if we're doing something like an after schools, that's a very, very basic one package that obviously we're doing. We generally only working at the moment. We are looking to open it up more to the public, but we work for local authorities and referrals at the moment with schools. So let's say we're doing it after schools, we'll be running Dungeons and Dragons. We are looking for other systems. We do want to do that, but D&D is the most accessible one out there at the moment. People recognize it. It's been on the Hollywood big movie screens. So the kids know it. They get excited about it, and I think the title does it really well. Of course, if we said vampire, that would probably be a good seller as well. Everyone likes vampires.
Of course.
So, but we have to be careful because of religious grounds, because some of the people that we're dealing with, that can actually trigger a little bit. I
Sure,
mean, a
sure.
little demon figure once just sitting on the table on a board, and we had a kid that just got quite freaked out. It was very religious. Go, oh, it's a demon, and we had to explain, no, it's not. It's not going to go in the game. Don't worry. And we had to be very careful because he had a lot of trauma in the past. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, we could have, but we're not doing direct counseling with them. We're doing therapeutic. So there's quite a clear difference on that sort of side of things. So there are levels in which we will go to. And at the moment, we're in very early stages. So we're not going full on counseling at the moment. We're obviously putting those reports. And obviously, there are counsellors in the rooms that are being brought in by the schools and local authorities. So we're trying to be keeping that at a distance. The games are very tailored by the type of program that has been used as well. So again, if we're doing with after schools, the school might say, look, we our policies for this year is we're pushing in mathematics. Okay, so there'll be some puzzles in this game that we're going to do that's going to involve some maps. Or we got bullying issues. Well, let's put them in that situation, that scenario, see how they can deal with a bully, which, by the way, works fantastic, absolutely brilliant, and consequences for those actions that what you do as well. So you're in a safe environment in that game, so they can test those grounds, which obviously helps with their key skills as well and development as they're growing. So because they already know, well, I hit that orc. That orc hit me back after I hit him. I didn't expect that. He almost killed me. And go, well, now let's take that into real life. If I hit somebody in real life, what do you think they could do? They could call the police if they're doing it the correct
right.
way.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
could walk away, or maybe they're going to hit you as well. Have you thought that they might actually hit you back? Oh, because that's what happened in the game.
right.
So you're creating this very, very safe environment for them to test that. So each of the programs are obviously specifically tailored. We get effectively, this is kind of a crude word, but it's easier for to explain it to more audience. We get profiles of the various children. So
Sure.
we obviously can look at that beforehand. The team of specialists will look and help design the game with our lead storyteller, and our lead storyteller will then obviously will speak to the various storytellers and go, right, this is where we need to move this game. We need to move down Avenue A, B, and C to give the perfect delivery response.
It's fantastic. Yeah, one of the things it's funny, it keeps coming up with my kids in high school was because of COVID. It's not fun. I have to stop saying it's an American phrase. It's not funny. It's not humorous. It is surprising, is what I really mean.
It's
Which is
curious.
that, yeah, it's curious. There we go. Thank you. Which is that a lot of kids have lost executive function.
Mm,
And executive function, which again is sort of new. First of all, I work in the business world, so that's all I am is executive. I'm 90% executive function. I get to play D&D some days, but that is organizing a team, speaking
mm,
up, engaging with the world, self-organizing your content. When you're having a problem, admitting you're having a problem, being
mm,
willing to go to a teacher and say, you know what, I didn't understand that, instead of just sitting there and not doing it. And when we first came back from COVID with our children in high school, that was the first thing the teacher said. They said, we've lost levels of executive function you wouldn't even understand. And it wasn't the stuff that you thought, right? Like, oh, they're doing bad in a grade. It was they're not just they're doing bad in a grade. They won't even acknowledge or even ask for help. They'll just fail. And a lot of that was this loss of executive function. And it's still going on. We just got a note today.
social. It's a social
Um,
interaction. They've lost the social.
Correct. And
We're
that's
to the
where
point.
role-playing games help.
Yeah, we so the government here is now starting to realize the effects of what happened during COVID, and there is a huge push on mental health within the UK
Hmm.
government, particularly with our new government we've got in Labour at the moment. There's a big push on mental health. Well, the studies are now coming back with, what's the effects? What did we learn from COVID? How is this affecting the new generation of children? My son was actually born at the very beginning of COVID. So and he was very lucky because I could instill confidence in him and we gave him a lot of extra training. But I'm seeing children equally at the side who were born at the same time, and you can see the clear effects where people just didn't think, God, this is a holiday. I'm off for a couple of
Right.
years sitting at home. Who
Right.
cares? I can just chill, play games. It's like, no, this affected you when you come out. I mean, even me, I'm a very social, confident person. I found it hard on the first days going back out to the real world, going, wow, is this the real world we're in now? And having a conversation, a meeting, it was like nervous. It's like, what is this? This is weird. So yeah, I get it. We're on the same page.
So it's really this kind of thing is it's so important anyway, right? It's so important anyway. But you see it now, at least I'm seeing it in the trenches, so to speak. Where out in the field, never mind playing a full adventure. I just like kids to talk, right, as a
Mm,
group. That's what
mhm.
the teachers were telling us. They were like, I don't need you to fully understand the topics. I'd love for you to actually talk to each other in a room. That would be great. Or when I ask a question, not have dead silence where no kid raises their hand. Or when they have to work together as a team, look at each other and be like, what do I do? Which again, role playing, all that is covered, right? Just by the nature. I always like to say, if you're not friends when we start the game, you will be because your characters will have saved each other about 3, 4 times by the end of it. And there's so much in there, right? Between teamwork and planning and understanding each other's weaknesses and each other's strengths. So it's a huge opportunity. And again, for gamers who've been around, we don't even understand in some cases how much skills we've acquired through it. But I'm glad to. It's so wonderful. One of the side effects of sort of D&D specifically, but role playing games is a knock on effect from that. Is people are getting it. They're seeing it, and again, COVID, for better or worse, really the pandemic essentially forced the issue in some ways. So Andrew's definitely gonna have some questions, but anything we didn't cover that you'd like to talk on? I think one of the things we thought we might want to mention was what's next for your org, given you sound like you've got a lot covered. So are you going to go global? Which I
I
think is a
mean,
legitimate
yeah.
question.
So I mean, it's probably a bit confusing our organization. So we obviously got the Role Play Haven, which is about role playing clubs, creating fun, safe, charitable gaming. That's the Role Play Haven. And then we've got Mythic Minds, which is also about using tabletop role playing game in a therapeutical way, trying to help young people or young dragons, as we call them, hence the project name. So they're obviously two separate sides. Now, with the role playing Haven, we obviously have the charity franchise, which is called the Roll Together Project, where to give you an idea, so we have like 9 branches across the UK at the moment. We have 4 in London. They're our own branches, but then we have them across in Wales, Edinburgh, Liverpool, and we've got various others opening up throughout the year. these are these are very much franchise, and we call them a charity franchise because when you join a franchise, you're giving money, but it's the other way around for us. We're giving you money, so we pay for your venue, we pay for the insurance, we give you the website, the banners, the t-shirts, the flamethrowers. Okay, not the flamethrowers, but you get my point. We're giving you everything.
Yes. Yeah,
And we all
yeah, yeah.
work under the same umbrella and we empower everyone, in a Discord as a community, a volunteer community, and work together. And UK is like every venue we're in, we feel absolutely feel. We have, and just to give you guys a little rundown, we haven't got we've been going for 13 years. I have not got a single band member in my organization. Now, I know many role-playing clubs will say ball to this because everyone's got a list of them, but we have a very
Yeah.
secret recipe and we're very transparent. We're even transparent with the account. Someone can tell me how much you've got in your account. We'll tell you. We're quite open about it all. So we have what we call two member reps on our committee. So each branch has two member reps. They're like almost like your union reps. They represent the members. They don't talk about themselves or what they feel. It's what members do. So they bring their voice to the committee, to that club, for them to talk every month about issues. Two of those. One games coordinator who manages the GMs or the dungeon masters, and a branch manager who manages that committee. So emphasize we have two member reps straight away, which gives them a lot of power. So we're talking about members' power here. And every club has toxicity, it happens. So what we do is we do elections every year. Even for the franchise, we do elections every year. And that naturally removes the toxicity out of the system. You had a bad branch manager, like we've all had bad leaders in our time. We have a bad leader running the country. We vote them out. Hey, that's done. And if they get back in, it's because the people have asked for them to go back in. That's
Right.
democracy. That's the power of democracy that we all love, and something that you guys and us have all in common. We love democracy, and I certainly do. And when people say to me who the boss is, it's the members. When then people join my board, so who's the boss? You're the boss, Gary? No, the members are the boss because we've empowered it legally as well into our articles that set the company up. So that's our company, how we do the branches. And our goal is America next. That's what I want. I've got people already starting to cry out. But what I don't have at the moment, so I've got the people coming to me and go, look, we need this, we need this. I need leaders. And that's people who are going to be people that I can help guide me, my naiveness, English naiveness, to how it works over there. Because yeah, I am naive. I don't know. I don't live there.
I don't know
Um,
either, but that's we'll try and help.
but so I am looking for leaders, people to help champion this over there as well, help set up clubs, or even they want to form clubs. We've already got Washington, we've got New York. They're the two prime ones at the moment that people are pushing us for a lot. I've got we try and collect the information up in a legal way. Don't worry, not just collecting the information generally. So we collect all the information up. I've got about 50 or 60 people already, and I'm not even trying for America. But
Right.
as we all know, the industry, 80% of the RPG industry is the US. So it's a no-brainer for us to look on the other side, not Europe at the moment. I like Europe. My other half's from Europe, but so I should probably be annoyed that I'm looking at America than Europe, and your European viewers are going, can't we have
Don't
France?
tell your other half.
Right? No, no. So yeah, America. That's our big. That's the big one for me next for the Role Play Haven. Is to open up a door there, to find a leader, to find a partner over there that we can work with, and form it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, certainly the CAR-PGA obviously has tremendous overlap. You're
Mm.
literally doing everything we try to do. So
No, I
to the
think
extent
you're
that
doing exactly what you're meant to do. I mean, I've done my research, and I think the organisation what you do is fantastic. You're reaching out to audiences right now by just doing this, and
hmm,
that's exactly it. It's you've got one different sort of direction. I'm doing another. I took advantage of working in the RPG industry quite a lot to
huh,
get where we are. So yeah, no, you guys
huge.
have done a fantastic job. I'm totally inspired. I'd love to do video podcasts and stuff.
Well, well, this is the start, not the end. So for sure, our members who will be seeing and reading this, it's a huge opportunity. So how
Mm.
can we help you? I mean, so and I should mention this. Usually I do, and I forgot. We're going to put all this in our newsletter. So we will link to the Young Dragons project. We're going to link to your site. We'll link to the places to sign up. But what else can we do to support you? It sounds like you're looking for volunteers, so we can certainly help there in America. Anything else that you're looking for
Talk
or
about it.
engaging?
Talk. That's
Yeah.
it. Honestly, it's talking about having a conversation. And because we're looking for volunteers in America, very particularly for the Role Play Haven.
Mhm.
Um, you know, we need that guidance and people want to be involved. We're also looking for sponsorship as well because we're a non-profit. We work with very small funds. So to be able to go over to America, that's a big jump for us to go across there. And it's a big output expense. So we're looking for the sponsorship as well. And obviously, we do membership cards. So we obviously promote back. We have an active membership. And I say active because most clubs talk about the whole lifetime. We talk about per year. Our per year at the moment is 800 members that we have. We're currently the biggest in Europe, even though we're not in Europe, we're just in the UK, but it sounds better saying Europe. So we're the biggest in the UK at the moment, what we're doing. We're not here to to conquer or anything like that. We're here to create that community. So calling out to your members, if you want to get involved, I'd love to have you. You know, maybe you got some IT skills. Our website's not perfect. We're not a perfect organization. I'd love to have more volunteers helping us with technology, websites, getting the voice out, what we're doing, maybe help us set up branches, or on the Mythic Mind side of things, we are looking for GMs, though we're very, very focused on the UK at the moment. It doesn't stop us from considering the US side at all. All options are there. I never believe in closing doors. I believe in opening these doors.
Fantastic. Well, certainly we can help. In terms of getting the word out, we're doing that now, and we will continue to do that for sure. The volunteer force, like I said, there's actually a lot of overlap with a lot of folks. We have quite a few qualified professionals who could be great storytellers. It's just a question of time. Everybody's super busy and they're all doing their own thing. So we'd love to partner with you. Where can we find you online? I think, you mentioned Mythic Minds. That, by the way, that's what crashed my headset. I went to Mythic Minds and it started playing a video and the whole thing just went, I
Uh,
can't. Um, any other places we can find you online was roleplayhaven.com.
So we've got RP. So yeah, we're known as RP Haven, although it's the Roleplay Haven's official. So we got rphaven.co.uk is our website. Down the bottom, you have our Discord link, which we got over 1,500 members in our Discord. It's an extremely active Discord. Always something going on, always people talking. Uh, we're on Facebook as well. We have various Facebook groups. I think if things start moving on the US side, we'll certainly set up a US Facebook group to start that conversation going. Mythic Minds is mythicminds.org. And obviously, I think you guys put little tags on the screen. So if I point there, it'll be there, right? Is that how it works?
Sure.
That's how I find
Yeah,
to
it's very
Oh, that's
use your
YouTube.
imagination.
Sorry.
But yeah, exactly. This will be on YouTube, but we're going to put all these links in the description, so we will absolutely have that as well. I'm sorry, anything else? Any other links? Any
So
socials?
sometimes we do hashtag as well. So RPH hashtag as well. And then here's the big news that what I sort of saved to the last. So we are one of the main things I'm looking for is we are looking for ambassadors for the project. So sort of like celebrity figures in that can help ambassador us. So and champion what we're doing, and that's really important for us at the moment. We're not so much on the money; it's getting the right figures there. So currently in the UK at the moment, we have Sir Ian Livingstone, which you probably all know
Of
who Ian
course. Yeah.
Livingstone is, the founder of Games Workshop. So he is champion Young Dragons at the moment. We're looking for
Amazing.
champions for the Role Play Haven as well to sort of push that as well. So yeah, we're looking on that one, and we've not actually released that news about Ian Livingstone yet. We've told one or two other people, press people, so that's kind of just about coming out there.
Ah, good scoop. Well, you heard it here first. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Wonderful. So, look, we're absolutely going to share and spread the word. We'll absolutely reference your socials as well as a call to our members to can participate. We have Andrew on. Andrew, did you have a question? I wasn't sure if you did.
Much appreciated, Mike. Yeah, I'll just be quick. So, I run the Game Developers Association. We've had a lot of luck getting gaming into schools, focusing on the dev side.
Mm.
Uh, Basically, in the U.S., we call it STEM or STEAM: science, technology, engineering, and math, or science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Hmm.
And it we've seen schools have resistance to gaming clubs, but have a great interest in this side of it.
Mm.
Um, and I love how they cross over. In fact, we're doing a college fair October 24th, which already has almost 500 high school kids signed up for it, focusing on game dev and
Wow.
esports. But that's a roundabout way to
Yeah.
ask if you see the two feeding one another. I mean, frankly, as a game developer, I love folks buying and playing my games, but I also I'm in this because I love playing other people's games.
Yeah, I can absolutely see them feeding through. Absolutely. I mean, there's connections everywhere, uh, for sure.
Yeah, love seeing what you're doing. I think that'd be a great thing to see in the US. So
I mean, I'd
thank you
love
very
to. I
much.
mean, obviously, you're kind of already doing that already. So, maybe we should be linking up as well and seeing how we can do and sharing information and research as well, because we're trying to collect that research up. And obviously, when you got that research, that allows us to go to funding circles, get fundings, and send them to schools. And the schools obviously more likely to take that information on and go, look, they've got information, they've got proof that this is working, that there is research behind that. Because doing your own research it is great, but when you can show other ones independent at the same time, then you're backing up that information, and that's kind of what we do to get those funding circles through is teamwork, working with other people, maybe like yourself, and say, look, it's not just us, they're doing it as well. Let's not us be behind like we always are in the UK. We're behind on everything. Let's not be behind this time. And that, do you know what? That fires people up sometimes. They literally go, hang on a minute, they're doing it. We need to do it. We can't keep letting them win all the time. So, you know, maybe you could do that reverse a little bit. So yeah,
Well,
that's
you all essentially created the computer, so
great.
you just started making games on it.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Well, appreciate that. I just shot you my email in the chat, so feel free to shoot me a note.
I'm just trying to copy it and it's not letting me copy. I'm pretty
It's an
bad.
easy one. President at
Yeah, yeah.
ggda.org.
I'm
I don't mind sharing that. It's everywhere already.
For
I'm
this,
writing
we're
it
making
down.
connections in real time. I love it.
That's what we should do. Yes, absolutely. We can call this a networking.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I've got it.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold you longer. I know we're at an hour already, so appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Fantastic.
I use my obfuscate, my horse spec to see your obfuscate, by the way.
I love it.
Oh, paper.
So, Gary, this is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for doing it. To your point, it's amazing, also kind of absurd that we haven't talked before. But I figure if I do this long enough, we'll eventually talk to everybody we should be talking to. So I'm glad. I'm sorry it took this long for us to talk, but I'm also excited. The organization is a powerhouse. I mean, it just absolutely is. To your point, I see the opportunity of how much more you could be doing. That's for sure. You could be doing a lot more, and not there. I'm saying, globally, the opportunities are
Yeah.
just enormous. So
We
we
just need
just
volunteers to do it. That's the thing. We're
right.
stuck on the volunteers and leaders and having those management structures in. And if we can get more of those management structures, we can stretch out more and we can help more people. But I'm not gonna, like I said, we're very transparent. I know the weaknesses we have in our organization, and some of that is on management because we're stretched thin. But if we get more volunteers in, we can do more. And that's the great thing about it. We just need to come together as a community, which is what we do in the TTRPG industry. We all come together, whatever the cause is. That's why I love this industry and love the people in this industry so much. It's a community. So let's bring that community together. Let's make a difference.
won't even try and wrap up. That was the perfect end note. So stick around, Gary. I'm going to stop the recording. Andrew, of course, you're welcome to stay on as well. And we will pick this up this video will be posted, and we'll also have it in our newsletter as well. But thank you, Gary, so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.